So I want to point out to the difference between Jewish and Gentile thinking. Among the Gentiles, they think in terms of the visual. Ami said we don't think in terms of the visual. That's less interesting to us, right? What's compelling to us is the actual internal structure of the matter. So if you look at an individual, I don't judge him by his skin color. That's racist, right? Or by his ethnicity. That's racist, right? We judge an individual by his merit, by his actions, by his mind, his internal mental organizational faculties. That's very important. This is illustrated perfectly in the laws of Kil'aim. There are two primary laws of Kil'aim. One is Kil'e Zera'im, the other is Kil'e Ilanot. The Kil'e Zera'im applies specifically in Eretz Israel, and the law is as follows. You cannot take two species of grain, of seeds, and plant them together. So, for example, I'm going to take a wheat seed and I'm going to plant it together close to a barley seed, right? That's called Kil'e Zera'im. Then there was also a Kil'e Ilanot. Kil'e Ilanot means trees. By the way, Kil'e Zera'im only apply in Eretz Yisrael. They don't apply in outside Eretz Yisrael. So outside Eretz Yisrael, it's mutar lechatchila to plant Kil'e Zera'im. Kil'e Ilanot apply both in Israel and outside Israel. And Kil'e Ilanot means that it's forbidden to graft one species of tree onto another species of tree, right? So that's Kil'ezer, and there's also Kil'ei HaKelim. I'm not getting into Kil'ei HaKelim now. I just want to give you the basic structure of the laws of Kil'aim, the basic Kil'aim. So Kil'ei HaKelim has to do with vineyards. Nevertheless, here's the interesting point. What are considered two different species of seeds? You understand? And I want to read to you the halacha, ברמב"ם, פרק ג' הלכות כלאיים, פרק ג' הלכה א', יש מינים בזרעים שיהיה המין האחד נפלא לצורות הרבה, מפני שינוי מקומות העבודה שעובדים הארץ. Sometimes you have one species of a seed where the species, depending on where it's planted in the world, different climates, right? And depending on how the land is worked, it could result in a very different type of plant. For example, if you look at the olive trees in Israel, they're not very tall, right? They're the best olives in the world, but it's not tall trees. You go to somewhere like Cyprus, the olive trees are huge. They're like cedar trees, they're huge. So one would think those are two different species, right? No, they're not. Oh, but visually they're completely different. No, but we look at the internal structure, right? We don't look at we don't look at just the visual, right? Not saying the visual is not important, but that's not what's dispositive of the matter, right? So, sometimes it looks like two different species, even though they're not, they don't visually appear to be the same. Since it's really one species, right? It's not kilai. So maybe a better example than olive trees, which is a tree. Let me bring the seed. Sometimes there's different seeds, different types of lettuce, or maybe there's different types of wheat, right? And they look different visually. It doesn't matter. What matters is the actual species, meaning, if I may use a more modern term, the genetic code, or perhaps the internal structure, we'll call it, right? And then conversely, sometimes we have two types of grains that appear to be identical visually. And you say, oh, it's the same type of, same thing. But no, if the internal structure of the genetic code is different, even though they look the same, they're going to be considered k'la'im. So you see, in Jewish thinking, we don't care about the visual. We're the most unracist, society, intelligent society. I don't like the word racism even because it's a low level. Racism is such a low level that I don't like to say that, oh, we're not racist, right? What does that even mean, right? We judge people based upon their merit. We judge people based upon their actions. We don't care what the color of your skin is and, what your background is. You are the sum total of your behavior, right? So, but okay, which isn't to say that there's no redemption, different class. But the point I want to make here is intelligent thinking, Jewish thinking. Just because two things look the same doesn't mean they are the same. And just because two things look different doesn't mean they are different. We always look internally and deeply. What is it on the inside? Not visually, but within the inner structure. And there's a word for that in Hebrew. You know what the word is? Selem.